Hello and welcome to Learning by Design podcast. I'm Krishna Cart, your host, and this is the podcast where we engage, educate, and empower learners and leaders on their learning journeys. So today, we're diving into an important topic, the admission process for the prestigious Academies of Loudoun. If you're a student or parent navigating this highly competitive process, this episode is packed with expert strategies, valuable insights, and must-know tips to help you succeed. The Academies of Loudoun include number one, the Academies of Science or AOS, focused on STEM research and inquiry-based learning. The Academy of Engineering and Technology or AET, emphasizing problem solving, innovation, and hands-on technical skills. The Monroe Advanced Technical Academy or MATA, offering specialized career and technical education pathways. You see, admissions to these academies are rigorous and preparation is key. So whether you're an aspiring scientist, engineer, or technical expert, this episode will guide you through every step of the process. Let's get started.
Okay, so let's dive in. This episode is entitled Academies of Loudoun Admission Process, Tips and Strategies for Success. I'm Krishna Cart. I'm going to reintroduce myself, and I have 2 decades of teaching experiences, both in the Philippines and here. I'm a National Board Certified Teacher, and I'm the Curriculum Director of the Masterpiece Academy. I served as a reading specialist and literacy coach in public school systems in Loudoun and Fairfax County. And when I resigned from public schools, I just focused on my passion, which is still teaching. So that's why I'm here at the Masterpiece Academy. And you can see here the lower circle. You'll see my family. These are my 2 sons and then, of course, my husband. They both graduated from TJ. And when I was teaching, when I was serving as a reading specialist at Francis Hazel Reed in Leesburg in Loudoun County, they were with me like all the time. Okay, so that's a little bit about me. And we are teachers and learning designers. So I'm doing my doctoral at GWU. And then prior to that, I finished Harvard Learning Design and Technology in Harvard. Majority of my classmates there are both curriculum developers and instructional designers. So that's why we're here. Okay, and we believe that every student is a masterpiece. So that's why it's called Masterpiece Academy. But the business is still Young Scholar Circle. We're just doing business as the Masterpiece Academy. So these are our services. We have district, something for the district, organizations, and businesses. We do K-12 curriculum development and instructional design for businesses and organizations. We do coaching and professional development for both school districts and businesses. And then for business, we have business to consumer, and that's you. We do tutoring and test preparation and after-school enrichment. And then you will see here on top our QR codes. These are middle school, so that will get you to the landing page of our middle school services, and it includes tutoring, test preparation, and after school, which is STEM. If you check it out, you will see that we have summer STEM camps and some ongoing after school enrichment like math accounts club. We have robotics, and the uniqueness of our summer camps or after school, they are all geared for competitions. Because we're huge in majority of our market are just gifted and those who wanted to get into the top schools and gifted programs. And so that's what we specialize in. And here on the second QR code is the ACL Prep. And that means Academies of Loudoun. So that goes straight to the Academies of Loudoun landing page. Okay, and so part of our mission is we engage, educate, and empower families. We believe in the family as a basic unit, and we empower them. And it's inspired by Ephesians 2:10, and I'm just going to read it. For we are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ Jesus so we can do the good things He planned for us long ago. So this podcast is part of our commitment to give families and students, learners and leaders a roadmap to success. Okay, so if you have some elementary students or middle school students and planning to get into the Academies of Loudoun, this podcast episode is perfect for you. Okay, so in this episode, we will look at, an overview, and then we'll compare it that, the admission to or the process of Academies of Loudoun is somewhat similar to college. Okay, so it's like mini college application. So it's a good practice for our middle schoolers because what you will learn here, it's basically a microcosm of what they will learn when they apply for top colleges and universities. And of course, as part of our commitment, we wanted to develop workforce, early on. We want to help develop workforce for the economy. We want to develop future leaders, and that's your children. And then we will talk about admissions criteria of Academies of Loudoun. And then we will talk a little bit about winning tips and strategies. What are some insights that you need to do? You just don't apply on the spot without preparation. And on top of the preparation, you have some other things that you wanted to consider and think about early on. And then if this is live, we have question and answers. But if you have, after listening or watching this video podcast, you can shoot us an email, contact us, and we will reply to you. And if you scan that QR code in the previous slide, it goes straight to our Academies of Loudoun page. You can click on it, and then we have free admission tips and strategies. We put there some free free essays where your student can upload some essays, and we can take a look at it before you even enroll with us. And they also can take some STEM thinking skills, some practice questions that we have created. They can take it and then see, can contact us after that, and then let us know the next steps. Okay, that's part of our commitment to kind of like equip the families. Okay, so we're going to talk about Academies of Loudoun. And when you say Academies of Loudoun, it consists of 3 schools: Academy of Science, AOS, AET, Academy of Engineering and Technology, and MATA, which is Monroe Advanced Technical Academy. Okay, so for purposes of conciseness of this podcast, we will just focus on the Academy of Science and AET because MATA has a different application, and I could create another podcast on that. Okay, so for this purpose, we will just focus on AOS and AET for now. Okay, so Academies of Loudoun is a pathway. So think of it as, the path, and it is a path of basically college. It's a good training ground for college application, and then it's a good training ground to figure out, to weigh your talents and skills, what you're capable of, and what your interests are. Okay, so it's just a training ground for college and workforce development. And of course, we wanted to develop careers in STEM, and that includes us because we need it. Our country needs future leaders. Okay, so Academy of Science, the Academy of Science pathway is this. It's geared more on science, research, and experiments. So if you have children, if you think, their interests are more into science, like, someone who's probably aspiring to become a doctor or a science researcher, this one is a good one for you. Okay, Academy of Science pathway. And then some of the Academy of Science courses are this. Okay, they have all courses there are plus 0.5. And, it also includes like multivariable calculus, So these are some of the courses that you might want to think of. You wanted to balance the rigor of the class that you're taking. In Academies of Loudoun, it's basically, it's kind of like you have to go there 3 times a week on top of your regular class. So it's basically a pull out Unlike in TJ, Thomas Jefferson High School, it's a full time. So every day you go to TJ when you get selected. In Academies of Loudoun, they take the basically upper 1.5% of the entire population, and you report in the Academies of Loudoun 3 times a week. Okay. So this is basically what you will see in the pathway for Academies of Science. You will notice the sciences, they are all integrated. Okay, and you can see the rigor. Okay, which is something that your child needs if they really wanted to get into top colleges and top universities. They're looking for rigors from grades 9 to 12. And let's move on to the Academy of Engineering and Technology pathways. So this is for people who wanted to do engineering research, who wants to, to be an entrepreneur, STEM entrepreneur, kind of like Google, Facebook, and computer science and IT research. So basically, if your student have interest in any of this, then Academy of Engineering and Technology is the best one for them, that pathway. Okay. And again, the Academy of Engineering and Technology courses, all ACL classes are weighted plus 0.5. And, they majority of them have AP, and it goes all the way to multivariable and then calculus. That's the one. That one is +1. Okay, so let's go back to the Academy of Science. So multivariable calculus is +1. The rest are like 0.5. Okay, so that's the heavier one. But it's offered. The good thing is it's offered because some of these are not offered in regular school. So in ACL, it's offered. It's the same thing in TJ. They offer up to this level. So it's very high. And AP classes, those count towards college. So like my two sons, they have a lot of AP classes when they both graduated from TJ. You will save a lot of college tuition fees because it's credited. It converts, especially if they get, 4.0, okay, or a 5. Okay, let's move on. Academy of Engineering and Technology pathway. These are basically some of the classes. Okay, we're not going to read it one by one, but you will see in 9th grade, it's integrated math, integrated science, and then AET, they already have AET Engineering 1, and it has CTE credit. And then in 10th grade, they have the integrated again, math and science. And then the AET Engineering 2 has CTE credit. Okay, AET Engineering senior research topics may include chemical, civil, electrical, mechanical, robotics, aerospace, or applied engineering research. And then in 11th grade, that's basically when they will have a lot of APs. And then they will have junior research. And then similar to TJ, the 12th grade, majority of them will have AP classes and senior research, okay, towards the end. So it's the same thing in TJ. They have, every individual has their own research, senior research. So it's pretty good because that's something that you want to write about when you apply for college. If you wanted to listen in the next podcast, make sure you tune in the next podcast. Next Friday, the first Friday of March, we will release pathways, basically high school roadmap from grades 9 to 12. And I encourage you to listen there because that will give you kind of like a roadmap to success to college. So it's still good to at least know it ahead of time. And then this is the AET entrepreneurship pathway. You got AP integrated math 1 and then science. And then you have entrepreneurship instead of engineering. And then that has CTE credit. Same thing in 10th grade. Obviously, it's just level 2. And the entrepreneurship 2 has CTE credit. And then in 11th grade, they have AP calculus, AB or BC. They can choose. And then, AP physics. And then this is, information technology and computer science. By the way, AP or BC, it depends on, where they started. Usually it starts, like, for example, 7th grade, if they are in geometry honors in 8th grade, they can take up to BC. Okay, but if they're only in Algebra 1 honors in 8th grade, it's only up to AB. It's the same thing in TJ. Okay, so it depends on where you are. Each AP has some sort of prerequisites. And then in 12th grade, you'll see here, it's all APs. And then you've got AP Advanced Computer Science. So you can see it has a lot of rigor. And that's good for college, top college applications. So if you get into Academies of Loudoun, I would say aim for top colleges and universities. Okay? And this is information technology. You got integrated math, integrated physics, and then AET, information technology and computer science. It has CTE credit. And then here in 10th grade, they have AP Advanced Computer Science, and it has science credit. And then this is, the junior research. Obviously, they have the same thing as the other two pathways or the other three pathways. They start AP in 11th grade, and then they have junior research, and then obviously the senior research. Okay, and then they have a lot of options in AP Science. You've got biochem, environmental science. The same thing with 12th grade. You have the option to take AP Statistics or AP Calc, BC, or multivariable calculus. That's pretty high. This is pretty high information technology. So again, before we move on to the next slide, the bottom line is you have to weigh your options, your skills, and your talents, which pathway you need to choose, and really applying at the Academies of Loudoun and getting there. It's a very good training ground. Okay, so I highly encourage you to apply. Okay, so we're going to move on to the Academies of Loudoun criteria, and specifically for AOS and AET. Again, we're not going to cover MATA for this specific episode. Okay, so basically you need to have, you should have taken Algebra 1 honors either in 7th grade or 8th grade. And then all your grades needs to be C or above. Okay, so one of the tests that they will need to battle is the STEM Thinking Skills Test Prep. And it's multiple choice. It's 50 items. It has 4 subcategories. We will talk about it. And it's basically the same company, Insight Assessment, who created QuantQ, the same test at TJ before the pandemic, before they removed the test. And then another one that they will have to battle is Academies of Loudoun Writing Task. Okay? So we offer both STEM Thinking Skills Test Prep and this Academies of Loudoun Writing Test. We offer live online. We offer in-person at our One Loudoun headquarters location. And then we also offered self-paced way back August 2023, and you can still buy it. If you look at our classes and notice that none of our schedule would work for you, you can still buy the self-paced. So in that way, you can start right away, and it will end when your student reach, until the test day. And just in case you wanted to join live online or in person, we will give you a significant discount if you already have taken self-paced, because there are still some resources and some trainings that you can get in person and live online that you cannot get in self-paced. Okay, so self-paced is designed because in different way. The same thing with STEM Thinking Skills Test. We have live online, we have in-person, and we have self-paced as well. We have a very powerful learning management system. We have rubrics there for writing. And for STEM Thinking Skills Test Prep, it's multiple choice. It simulates the actual STEM Thinking Skills Test Prep. We develop the questions, and it was refined based on the feedback of our past students. And obviously, the one who developed these questions are curriculum developers and instructional designers and state licensed teachers, our math coaches. There are about 3 to 4 people who develop STEM Thinking Skills Test Prep, math and science teachers. Okay, it's actually more than 4 because it's combined math and science. Now, this one, I developed it. Okay, so you will hear my voice there. You will hear in self-paced, you will hear a lot of my videos. The in-person one, I teach it. Sometimes I ask another colleague to help me teach it. And we always have, if you check our schedule, we have one-on-one classes. Basically, there will be in-person and then live online. And then we have asynchronous sessions where we have to meet with students one-on-one. And so in that way, they have more time to imbibe the lessons. But taking the writing test prep will help them develop their writing skills, because writing skills is something that your child needed to develop, in life. And you will learn more about it when you listen to my podcast, episode next week. Okay? Writing skills is crucial, and so basically what they will learn from here is something that they can apply when they go to college. Okay, so this is basically the timeline. You apply this is 8th grade. You're talking about 8th grade, okay? So if you have 8th grade child, you apply. Usually the portal, Academies of Loudoun portal, will open 2nd week of August or 3rd week of October. Don't wait until the 3rd week of October. Apply right away in the 2nd week of August, because there's a lot of internal communications between counselors and the Academies of Loudoun. They have to forward your credentials in the systems. Don't apply like too late. Apply right away 2nd week or in September. Okay, and next, so in that way you can just avoid technology glitch. Okay, test day is, there are 3 test days, but you can only choose one. Usually they do it last Saturday of October, and then first 2 Saturdays of November. There are some instances when they have done it all first 3 Saturdays of November. So there are no schedule yet for this 2025. So they will release it sometime August when the school open. They will release the choice of test. And what we typically ask our students is to choose the last Saturday of November. Don't choose the first one. So in that way, we have more time to refine their skills, because especially with my writing assessment students, Academies of Loudoun writing, I usually ask them to sit in my next class or so if I feel like I needed to work more with them. So, just to be on the safe side and for me to have more time with my students. So make sure that they take, or you choose it's either second to the last Saturday or the last Saturday. Okay. Next. And then the results will be released late March. And then you will have to make a decision in August. So majority of our students who applied in Academies of Loudoun also have applied at TJ, and usually they have the same period of time when they release the results. Usually TJ release the results usually first week of April. So it's basically about the same time as Academies of Loudoun. And when they passed both, it's a dilemma for you to give. So I get a lot of calls, and then Mrs. Cart, which one is better? So we talk. So you can talk to me when that day time is a good problem to have. Okay, that's a very good problem to have, because you just have to choose between two great schools. Okay, you can't go wrong. But anyway, I still have some insights about that. So feel free to call me. Okay. So you can see this was still Young Scholar Circle. That's the real company, Young Scholar Circle. We're just doing business as the Masterpiece Academy because we're expanding our services to curriculum design and instructional design and coaching and prof dev. Okay, so this is basically the Academies of Loudoun test prep. These are some of the benefits. They will have guided writing during the class. I will help them brainstorm. I will help them look for what activities to highlight, help them create perspective, and then help them show off their best values, their personality in the essay. Okay, on top of of course, responding to the issues. So I will teach them different, type of genre that they can also apply when they go to college. Okay. And you will see the student progress because our learning management system, we have parents. You can oversee your students. You can see your students' progress. And then the students can answer, but you can see whatever they do. So in that way, you can monitor. Okay. So you'll see your student progress and all the time. And then whenever we update homework, you will receive notifications. So we have a very powerful learning system. And of course, there's rubrics there. Okay. So STEM thinking skills test prep, there are 4 major categories. There's basically out of the box. It's basically 28 items and then 50 minutes. 28 items in 50 minutes. You have out of the box algebra, got tech logic, scientific thinking, and then spatial relational thinking. And it's adaptive. Yeah. So everyone will get different type of questions, and some students get more scientific thinking. Some students get more, it's adaptive. So whatever what questions they answer, more of those questions will come up because both of them are online. So in Academies of Loudoun, we need to teach them the content, the format, and at the same time, the test-taking skills, the pacing, and then the stamina. The same thing here in STEM thinking skills test prep. And STEM thinking skills is taught by math and science teachers. English teachers teach this writing workshop. And this is the rubric. Okay, we're not gonna discuss it one by one, but obviously we teach the students how to read the rubric, how to score their own essay. We score their essays together. We discuss it in class. We talked about it, and I give them like strategies on how to score full evidence in all of their retired prompts. So it's really, when they enroll, it's really a great investment on the writing skills. Okay, this is one of the prompts that came up during COVID. And majority of their prompts is environmental problems. It's real world problem. So whatever our country is encountering during the time of your student taking the test, that's usually when, when this prompt develop. Okay. So it's basically based on the current event. So it's when you have an 8th grader or 7th grader, make sure that they read a lot of science or STEM magazines to keep abreast of what's happening. And of course, current events like this one is a forest fire. This was the forest fire that happened in California, not this recent one, not this 2024, 2025, but this was way back 2020. There was another fire. So that's it. So, and we teach them, part of the essay is we teach them the scientific method, how to put it in their essay, and then the engineering method. Okay, so it's embedded on how to respond to their essay, and then the engineering design process. So it's embedded, and then the context is their extracurricular activities. Okay, it's pretty tough. Okay. So now, this is basically a resume. What are some of the things that you might want to do? Okay, what I typically tell my parents and my students, basically our families, is to start, even if you're still in 6th grade or 5th grade, you might want to think about your extracurricular activities. So if you're applying for a STEM school, of course, they're looking for STEM extracurricular activities, and this will be the content of your essay. So it's the same thing in college. If you wanted to be in medicine or sciences, of course, the expectation is you should have some leadership and extracurricular activities, academic competitions based on your interest. And of course, if you want to do sports, you can do that as well, like this one. See? You can see it's diverse, but you can see she is into STEM. So that's one. If they don't have STEM activities or extracurricular activities, we have summer STEM camps, and some of our after-school enrichment are ongoing. So feel free to scan this, and schedule will pop up, and we'll talk about it in the next slide. But these are some possible essay contents. It doesn't need to be just camp. It can be summer camps and internships. Internships go back to or at the first source of information is your counselor. Maybe there are some businesses that offer internships or just shadowing, job shadowing or so. Or it could be contact from your parents. Maybe your parents have their own businesses or their own contacts. And you might just wanted to shadow or at least, just visit a job just to give a glimpse of what's happening in the workforce, because that's something that you can write about in your essay as well. And then academic activities, that includes your GPA and academic competitions and leadership like clubs. So they're looking for that, and that's something that you can write about as well. Volunteer work, that's another one. And then your interest. Interest doesn't need to be directed to school, or it's not even interest that's not unrelated to school. Like, for example, video game programming or app development. Make sure you write it down because that's crucial when you write your essay. And what I typically do with my students is I ask them to basically write down or create their resume from 6th to 8th grade. So in that way, we can help them angle their essay. Okay? So another thing that you might wanted to do is keep on reading and writing, and keep on investing in math, keep on strengthening your math and science skills, especially, experiments. So just keep on exposing them to STEM arena. And I'm pulling this one. This one are Writers Are Readers by Lester Laminack. And you look at your brain as a bank. It stores all the personal experiences, thoughts, concepts, language. But you need to have deposit. That's basically the receptives. Whatever they read, watch, and listen to, it goes in there, and then they process it. And then the withdrawal, that's basically writing, producing, speaking. They cannot produce or write something if they don't have experiences about it. Okay, so let's go back to this. So that's why this is crucial, because they need to have content, and they need to, they need to have that content, that experiences. So in that way, they can produce good essay or they respond to well-written, to a good prompt. Okay, they can respond well. So this is 2005 Summer STEM Camp. So if you scan the code in the previous slide, this one, you will see these Summer STEM Camp, and it's on our website. Well, just to give you a glimpse of, our STEM camps are designed for competitions. And I cannot overemphasize the value of writing skills. And again, I hope you could listen or tune in to this podcast, because next week is all about 9 to 12 and then National Merit Scholarship. Okay? So these are my babies. This is my oldest one. He graduated from TJ in 2015. And this is my youngest. He graduated from TJ 2016. So in both middle school and high school, you need writing skills, okay? And if your student in TJ, if your child in TJ wants to apply it, if your child at Academies of Loudoun wants to apply at TJ, it's different genre, but they still need those STEM extracurricular activities, because they're gonna write student portrait sheet. They need to show how they have been a collaborator, communicator, all of these portraits of a graduate through their essay. It's the same thing in Academies of Loudoun. It's the same admission. It's an admission essay. So they still need to show off, but then it's just different because they respond to an environmental prompt. But there's a language to show off their traits and their values and their skills and then interest. And that's something that they will learn in our classes. So investing in our classes is a good solid step. It's a good wisdom. So yeah. So that's, without further ado, you can always contact us. This is our phone number, 571-485-0934. And this is where the class will happen at 1 Loudoun. We are in Venture X building. We are at Suite 341. And this is the email, info@masterpieceK12.org. So be sure to contact us and, connect with us ahead of time, like sixth grade. If you have child who are in 5th grade, we do offer IAT prep, okay? And it's crucial to have IAT prep. So in that way, they can get placement to Algebra 1 in 7th grade and then geometry honors in 8th grade. So when they go to Academies of Loudoun, they have advanced math classes. Okay, so that's it for now. And I hope you tune in to Learning by Design. We release episodes every Friday. If you have some other questions or some suggestions on, what type of topics you want to see in our podcast or in our blog, go ahead and contact us. Okay? And again, this is Krishna Cart. I'm your host, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much, and bye for now.